professional investor and senior investment manager over at the Everly May Capital Group. You guys, I've been talking with you guys now for a while about investing and trying to create some financial independence in your own life. And so I'm going to continue down that theme today, only because I want you guys to really appreciate just how important it is that you start taking steps to position yourself so that you are financially independent. And once you're financially independent, then the next goal should be to become financially free, right? Financial freedom is the ultimate goal. But we can handle financial independence where basically you, you have enough passive income coming in to support your lifestyle. You know, I mean, you can't maybe go out and buy a Lamborghini, but you can certainly support your lifestyle. You can pay your bills. You don't have to go to work. It becomes optional going to work or having a spouse go to work, those kinds of things. So that's what I'm talking about here today. And for those of you that haven't read the book, Richest Man in Babylon, one of the things that they talk about in that book is George Clausen, I think is how you say his last name. He wrote the book many, many years ago, but it's timeless, guys. And the principles in it are timeless. And one of the principles in there is to pay yourself first and pay yourself 10%, at least 10% of the income that you receive. And what I mean by pay yourself is, I mean, that money's not used to pay bills. It's not used to support your lifestyle. That money is used for your future self, right? You're going to take that money, invest that money, because money that's invested grows. In other words, it gives birth to new money. Okay? Think of your money almost as if you were a rancher and you had a bunch of cattle, right? Let's say that you're a cattle rancher and you got 100 heads of cattle. What you want is for your cattle to have babies, right? If your cattle give birth, your wealth increases. It's the same thing happens with your money. So you want to put your money to work in a way that it can increase. That's called compounding, and that's where your wealth is going to come. But where should you invest? Well, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not giving you any financial advice, but I'll tell you the places that I like. I like investing in real estate related assets because they're real, you know, right? It's right in the name, real estate. It's real. It's not like putting money into stocks. It's not like putting money into cryptocurrencies or other things that are volatile. Um, they are speculative, In real estate, if it's backed by real estate, you have, typically speaking, like in my case, I invest in contracts, real estate contracts, where people have literally signed a contract and said, I agree to the terms of this contract. And so I can look at those terms of the contract and I can know exactly what I am investing in. And I have recourse. If the people violate the terms of the contract, I can actually repossess the real estate. And so that's what I do. That's where I invest. And I love it because since I started investing in that space in 2013, so what's that, 12 years ago? Um, since I started investing in that space, I went from being broke and almost homeless, almost, I was never homeless, but I was pretty close, um, to being wealthy, right? And all that happened by investing in this asset class. That's why I'm all 100% sold on this asset class. And so what I do is very simply this. I invest in these assets, and then the cash that comes in from these assets, because when I invest in these mortgage contracts, people send their mortgage payments to me every month. So that money comes in. When that money comes in, I use that money to buy, I put that money to a safe holding spot. And what I use is whole life insurance policies. So I park that money in my whole life insurance policies. And by parking that money there, inside those policies, uh, I get several benefits. One is, of course, I get life insurance that my heirs will get if something happens to me, right? My estate gets that if something happens to me. But I also park that money in life insurance policies on other family members. Right now, I have more than 20 family members covered by these policies. And because of the way these policies are structured, I have access to the premiums that I paid when I paid into the policies. I mean, think about that for just a minute. Suppose you could buy something, keep that thing, and still have the money that you paid to buy it. Still use that money for investing. That's exactly what I get with these life insurance policies. I call them wealth savings account because that's where I'm saving my wealth, right? And so that's what I do. And then what I do is I take I take a loan against my wealth savings account, and I use that money to go out and buy more um, mortgage contracts. And those contracts then create more income. You see, it's like a circle, right? And that's what I do. And by the way, I don't do this in my own name. I do things inside either a trust or an LLC or a corporation, right? Everything, all the business that I do that in order, again, in order to protect my assets. So if you're in your 40s and you're not doing the things to, first of all, create wealth for your family, and then to protect that wealth, and then to make sure that there is a financial legacy left for your family, it's probably time for you to rethink what you've been doing. Okay? Because you have a responsibility, really, to take care of your family, not only while you're here, but while you're gone. And too many people just wait too long. So one of the good things is this: if you've been working for more than 20 years, you know, most of us work for what, 45 years or so. We start working around 20 and we work until we're 65, then we retire. So if you're already in your mid 40s, you've already been working more than half your working lifetime. Think about that, right? You're on the back nine, as they say in the game of golf, right? In football, they say we're in the second half of the game, third quarter, right? Possibly fourth quarter. Guys, it's time to get absolutely serious about what you do with your money. Absolutely serious. And I know I see too many people that are in their 40s, they're in their 50s, and they're just not ready to buckle down. They're still investing in things that are volatile. They're still out there hoping to hit a home run. As a matter of fact, I got a call recently from a guy that was absolutely desperate. He was 67 years old, and he wanted me to coach him. And he wanted to make sure that I personally was going to coach him because he really needs to pull off a miracle. He needs to pull it off fast. You know what I told him? I said, you know what you need is you really need a job again. I mean, because he has a few dollars to invest, not very much. And investing is a long game. It's not you invest today and you're rich tomorrow. That's not how it works. If that was how it works, most investors would be wealthy. No, it's a long game. You have to understand that this is a 5, 10, 15, 20-year process to becoming wealthy, right? It took me 6 years to become wealthy after I found and discovered what I'm sharing with you guys today, these mortgage contracts. It took me 6 years. In the meantime, yeah, I took jobs. I delivered newspapers. I delivered pizzas. I did some telemarketing. I did whatever I needed to do in order to keep the lights on, right? And I set aside money so that I could invest. But you got to do what you got to do. Some people, they feel like, well, I don't really want to make any sacrifices. If you're not really willing to make any sacrifices, then I can assure you that you'll never really create real wealth for yourself because it's going to require a sacrifice. At least 10% of what you earn needs to be kept and unspent, right? It needs to be invested. And if you don't earn enough, you can do what a young lady that I'm partnered with did. She said, you know, my income is pretty much all used up, and she wanted to invest more money, and so she took a part-time job, even though she has a full-time job that she's been on for more than 20 years. She took a part-time job, and every dime that comes from her part-time job goes directly into her investment portfolio. And she is growing her wealth very quickly, very quickly. She's earning a nice return on her money by investing in the asset class that I recommend, the same asset class that I invest in, right? Mortgage contracts. So, guys, this is an opportunity that's here for all of you guys. I hope some of you guys will reach out and see what you can do. You know, it may be something that will work for you. If you're not sure how to do it, you can head on over to my website, right? My website is therealdesiarnez.com. You can learn more about me there. You can connect with me there too, by the way. There's a link there that you can use to get on my calendar. and I'll be happy to answer your questions when you guys get over there. You know, if you want to get on my calendar. If you want to learn about investing in mortgage notes, um, you can literally click the link that's on the screen right here, right? Where it says noteinvestoruniversity.com. I'm the co-founder of noteinvestoruniversity.com, and we teach people and coach people on how to create wealth with this asset class. You can click this link right here, or you can just go to noteinvestoruniversity.com and check it out, see what you think. Okay. One of the things that you'll learn there is how to raise private capital. See, even if you don't have any money right now, it doesn't really matter because there are 7 essential resources that are required to invest in this asset class. One of those 7 is money, but there are 6 other essential resources that are required. Okay, if you come to the table with those other 6, it's not very difficult to find the money, but you need to get those 6 resources down, and that's what you'll learn over at Note Investor University. Okay, and for those of you that love community, we have an investment community. It's our freedom and prosperity community. It's for investors. I even host the Freedom and Prosperity podcast, which you can find wherever you consume your podcast. Last thing, guys, before I wrap this up, for those of you that are interested, I wrote a book. It's called The Family Circle of Wealth. Okay, it's available on Amazon for $20. However, because you're here today, I will send you a copy for free. I'll sign it, send it out to you wherever you are, and then you can read it. And in this book, I share with you my story of how I went from being almost homeless to being wealthy, and how I've created a financial dynasty for my own family that will create wealth in my family for the next 360 years. Okay? So it's not just about me, it's about my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, my great-great-great-great-grandkids. Everyone. They're all going to benefit from the things that I've learned over the last dozen years. And your kids you can have the very same thing in your own family. So if you want this book, simply text to the number here on the screen. You text to 951-551-0087. That's my cell phone number. Text the word book, and I'll send it out. Text it to 951-551-0087. Okay? And by the way, I need to know where to mail it, so make sure you text your mailing address too. And some of you forget to text your name, so please put your name in there too, so that when I address the letter, I can put it in there, okay? When I address the envelope. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to hearing from you guys in our next broadcast here. I'll probably update you guys on what's going on with my cryptocurrency, because as I mentioned last week, I did do some investing in cryptocurrency because I believe that the timing is right? We've been hearing about crypto for a few years now. I think the timing is right, and I've got reasons that I say that. Now, I'll share some of those reasons with you guys in my next broadcast. So, God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless America.